For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jared Roser here today with big Captain Shreve lineman Devin Harper, a 2025 prospect for the Gators, who's had a fantastic run of about 24 offers already this calendar year. And I know he's also been hard at work this offseason, just kind of improving his craft and getting ready for some big expectations for the Gators this fall. Devin, what's going on, man? How are things treating you up north?
Everything going good, just working hard, trying to get better every day, just like grinding, just getting ready for this fall.
What has the past couple months been like for you? I mean, you're a guy that was already popping up on a lot of our radars as a sophomore, and then Mississippi State offers in January, Tulane right after that, and it kind of keeps rolling. And now we're looking at 20 some odd offers, including several SECs throughout May. What has that been like to field those visits when they came through school or calls or whatever it's been?
It's been kind of surreal, like programs like Bama, Georgia, LSU coming to the school, really just I really exceeded my personal own expectations as a sophomore. I've just been grateful, just and keeping my mind focused on getting better.
Did you expect to be a big time college guy at some point and it just has come earlier than you expected? Or
Yes,
when,
sir.
yeah, tell me more about that. When did you realize you had that kind of potential?
I really realized, well, my coach Kirby, he really helped me realize this about like last summer. He brought me in. He told me I was gonna be the starting left tackle as a sophomore, and he stayed on me. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a lot of stuff. He just made me grind harder. He stayed like he made me do things like more than like any of the other linemen did. Just like stand on top of me. And he saw the potential in me, and so he just made me work like 10 times harder, and it just boosted me.
What was that like as a young guy to realize kind of the method behind that madness? Because as a young student athlete, when you feel coach being hard on you, sometimes some guys might not realize the end game to that and will kind of buck back a little bit. How did you kind of accept that and get to a point where you're now obviously embracing it? You're out there getting extra work pretty much every day, from what I understand.
Yeah. Well, before he like brought me onto the field, he told me like that he was gonna be hard on me, and just like it's because he loves me and he wants me to get better. So like I took that into like understanding. So I didn't really like take it personally or anything. I just knew he was just trying to make me a better player like day in and day out. So like it just felt good. Like I felt honored, so to speak, because like at the high school level, like most coaches don't coach like every player hard. So like it feel like I felt honored to be coached like hard and like tougher than most of my teammates.
Y'all were certainly a hot spot for big name college programs to come through during spring ball. And just a couple years ago, y'all were a huge hot spot when Kendrick and those guys were coming through in that 22 class when y'all were freshmen. I mean, just kind of starting out high school. Do you remember seeing that as a young guy, and what did that mean or tell y'all in terms of a message for these next generations of Captain Shreve guys coming through?
Yeah, with Kendrick, big time ball player, he's at Bama now. But he was different. Like he worked like extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? He was very humble. So like it was just very motivating to see that as a freshman.
Whether it be guys like that or some of the great linemen y'all have had come through in recent years. I know in that class, Chris Thomas on the defensive side, Chris Allen the following year.
Yes, sir.
What have you learned from players ahead of you? As much as you talk about that relationship with Coach Kirby and what he's kind of tried to instill in you, from whether it be watching these older guys or chatting with them, what have been some of the messages passed through from these recent classes?
This past year, Chris Allen, we had Cam Robinson. They really just taught me how to be like they taught me like the physicality mindset. Like when I was a freshman, I could say I played like kind of soft, I wasn't like as physical as I could be, but this sophomore year, they really like molded me in. They brought me in to the group, and they just taught me like the brand of physical football. You know what I'm saying? Punishing guys, finishing guys to the ground. So like I think that's the main thing that I learned from the like past linemen that I played with or got to see.
I think you see that pop up on that sophomore film too, where you putting guys on skates and just really driving and finishing blocks well downfield at times. And you see some of the things you're posting in terms of the way that you're describing different blitz pickup or picking up stunts and stuff like that, that your feel for the game, your game IQ is also high. Talk me through that, where that comes from, how early you had sort of that natural feel for not just bowling guys over, but seeing what the defense is doing, being able to react quickly, and how do you continue to develop that aspect?
Definitely freshman year. I didn't play varsity my freshman year, but it was freshman year. I got to like lay back and I was on varsity, but I didn't like start. So like I got to lay back and see how everything went. I was in all the film sessions, all the practices. So like it really started as a freshman, just seeing everything, seeing how like defenses attack like certain things and how we are supposed to attack defenses at like certain like positions of the game. But Coach Kirby, it's really Coach Kirby. He really got my mind right and like the like fundamentals and like the learning aspect of the game. And so I just credit all of that to him, really, Coach
You're
Kirby.
yeah, you're still developing all around. I'm sure everybody wants to be getting better at everything all the time, but you mentioned from freshman year to sophomore year, the physicality was a big focal point for you. From sophomore to junior year, is there kind of a top priority, an area of your game that you feel like this tops my list of what I want to be taking a next step in before we hit back this fall?
Definitely technique. Technique is like one of the biggest parts of O-line play, and I feel like mine isn't like as good as it should be right now. So like definitely technique.
Yeah. What's the rest of the summer look like for you from a college standpoint? I know you're down in Baton Rouge next week for the lineman camp on the 10th. You'll be coming down the 9th and working out on the 10th. Do you have other stops throughout June that you're trying to get to a couple of other programs, or is that kind of the main one right now?
Uh, I don't have others like locked in, but I want to get to Texas. Trying to get down to Tuscaloosa also. I've already been to Ole Miss. I liked it down there at Ole Miss. And so Georgia, well, Texas, Bama, and Georgia I'm trying to get to. Like I'm really trying to get to see what it's like.
You had a chance to get down to LSU in January also, and
Uh,
what's kind of the rapport and the relationship been like with Coach Davis and the staff down in Baton Rouge?
when I went down in January, it felt like home. It felt like very welcoming. When I walked in, I just felt the home vibe. Very nice. They just welcomed me in like I don't even know, like a child. Like I don't even know. Like, but yeah, yeah. It just felt like I belonged there. Like, yeah.
Are you a guy that grew up watching LSU, being like a young LSU fan in Louisiana? Did you have a favorite team? What was it, LSU? It looks like.
Oh yeah, definitely LSU.
What are your early memories of LSU kind of standing out, whether players, games, seasons, anything that caught your attention other than obviously being that home state school?
Uh, One of the first things really that like really stood out when I was younger, probably Leonard Fournette. Leonard
Hmm.
Fournette, definitely. That's when I really got into LSU football. Leonard Fournette, he's a beast.
Watching
So yeah,
him throw the Auburn backer over his shoulders,
yeah,
all that. Yeah.
yes, yes,
That was one of the few games through the years where something happened that I stood up in the press box and was kind of like, oh man, like it was like a dunk reaction moment watching that play unfold.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Take me through the day that LSU offered a couple weeks ago. What that conversation was like, what the emotions were like, the energy around family, school, the community, etc.
Uh, well, it was actually the day of my spring game. So I was in class. I I had got word through the grapevine that LSU was on campus. You know, I heard they was on campus, but it was like an hour before they called me to the office. So I'm like, I'm wondering, did they leave? Am I getting an offer? What? So I get called out of class. Coach Kirby comes to the door. He's like, LSU was here. I asked him, was it Coach Davis? He said yes. So I walked in the office, Coach Davis in there. We just had I don't know, it was about an hour conversation. But we just had it was a good hour conversation. He just talking ball, talking about life. And at the end of the conversation, I was about to walk off, like go back to class. Then I came back in the office and he just told me that I had an offer from LSU. But he just told me to keep working, you know what I'm saying? That I have the offer, but you know what I'm saying? What am I going to do to keep the offer and just keep developing and getting better over time? So the feeling was really surreal. It's like I was waiting on that offer. I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting on that LSU offer.
Yeah, it seemed like a big one that day.
Yeah, it was definitely a big one. Definitely.
How much have you heard from? I know the 24 class, certainly all the guys like Ahmad over at Ruston and other guys around the state have been very vocal of they're trying to figure out who else they can get on board. Are you feeling that from whether it be that group or 25 guys like Brett Bordelon who are committed? Are they in your ear yet, or you have long enough to go that it's not really to that point yet?
Not currently. Nobody's in my ear yet. But I just love LSU. But nobody's like in the 25 class in my ear yet. Cause I think it's on like how many commits? How many are committed in the 25 class?
Yeah, it's just a couple so far. So for you guys, high school wise, as you get ready for what 2023 holds for Captain Shreve, what are the expectations? What are goals and things that y'all are talking about? Y'all have had some really great teams the past couple of years, but have run into this kind of second round hurdle that you're trying to get over. What are the mantras and mottos and goals and things y'all are talking about this off season?
Right now, as we going through workouts, it's just like to outwork everybody. You know what I'm saying? Come in day out, and just work really hard. But as of like goals for the season, we definitely want that district championship. You know what I'm saying? And we really want to. Well, Coach Kirby's his big thing is he wants to practice on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
So he just wants us to get to that point, so we can have Thanksgiving as a family. So district championship and practice on Thanksgiving. It's like the two big goals around the program right now.
Are there lessons y'all learned from the playoff games the past couple years, or any of the ups and downs or experiences that have really kind of stood out that you feel like will enable y'all if y'all can focus on this or learn from that can help you take that next step and get to a Thanksgiving practice?
Yeah, it's really just to stay focused, honestly. So when we went 10-2 one year. I think that was like Kendrick's. It was definitely Kendrick's senior year.
Yeah.
We got to the second round of playoffs. We was just thinking since we had beat Parkway already, we thought we was just gonna beat them again, go to the third round. But the main thing is just stay focused, and just always stay hungry for more. And don't like get too caught up in any moments. And like right now in summer workouts, we going through this thing called a fourth quarter program.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a thing where like he gets us tired. We just like first we do conditioning and then we go out for football drills. It's really just teaching us to like stay focused when you're tired, like basically, because that's when like most games get lost. People get tired in the fourth quarter, start making mental mistakes and all that stuff. So yeah, we just going through this fourth quarter program, like to teach us like mental toughness, stay focused and all that stuff. Things that just has cost us in the past.
Got you. Well, man, kind of winding it down. What do people need to know about you other than what we've already hit on? The fact that you are a big physical left tackle for the Captain Shreve Gators with now 24 offers, and y'all are hard at work this offseason. When folks want to know who's Devin Harper beyond this fantastic 2025 football prospect, what do they need to know about you?
Uh, First of all, I'm a just great guy. I might look mean on the field, but I'm a great guy. Trust me. Uh, I'm a hard worker. I'm saying I'm ambitious. I'm always looking to improve. You know, I'm a good student. I don't get in no trouble. So, and that's pretty much it. Besides the football aspect of things.
Yeah. Devin, I certainly appreciate you taking a few minutes and chatting about how everything's been going. And folks should make sure to keep up with you the next, not only couple, but the next several years, probably. Again, he's Devin Harper, fantastic offensive lineman up at Captain Shreve in that 2025 class. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jared Roser.